Garathusa, mark crossing back to the east. Enjoy. Good luck with Tingana. Reading you 4 out of 5. So this is now the boundary road between us and Arathusa, between Djuma and Arathusa. So we're heading back into Djuma now. Peggy wants to know if the dogs would fight with another pack. Most likely. Mostly if there were any new tracks to be seen. But I don't think I've been up this way since I came back, because we've been having some really amazing sightings that have kept me very busy for most of the drive. So I actually haven't done very much driving around. My intention is to go past the hyena den. Not giving him any credit. Okay. My guess is that they are starting to select their little rutting spots. Morning, Blair. Oh, it's afternoon. Blair, I think, is in New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. Matimbas, are they still around? Blair wants to know. Unfortunately, Blair, they did cross. We heard them moving south last night after dinner. They were roaring further south. I think they were last seen around Nyala Road south, so they did move south of Buffelshoek Dam. My intention this morning when we left, because we left quite early, as you noticed when we started this morning, we were already well around near Treehouse Dam when heading down south to look for those tracks for those two male lion, and we heard a commotion. To me it sounded like it was coming from the dam. Thank you. Excuse me. As we moved around towards the dam, it's when we stumbled across things. When I first heard the commotion, I thought it might have been that the lion and the hyena were having a bit of an argument, that maybe the lion had caught something and the hyena were giving them a hard time. The tables were turned on the hyena this time. It was the wild dog giving them a hard time. Hyena came off second best. Now you look at the size of the hyena. Able to harass the hyena to such an extent. They torment the hyena from the front, and then every now and then I've seen hyena do exactly the same thing to lion and to better their own medicine. It's just that that's what they do. There is a rivalry that exists because they all have to compete for the same food source. They all have to live together, but they all have to compete. Now the competition is limited, or the competition is not as intense because they do have different hunting methods. They have different ways of bringing down animals. And so that in itself limits competition a little bit, because they tend to prefer different habits. We came out of Arathusa quite towards a bit of the south. I would like to go and see what there is there. See if they're out. Any sign of them. Tracks. There's no way of knowing the answer to that. I was only speculating there that possibly if the wild dog did go past. If we had a camera on the hyena den and we had to watch an incident like this. Excuse me one moment. Now those Madats are far west. They've already crossed over to the western side of Safari and down. Yeah, I'll just come back on. I'm sort of sandy patch at the moment, following up on some Ndlovu Mkonzo. Ephraim, where's Ephraim got Ndlovu? That's also copy, thanks for. Did either of you guys check Mpisi Kaya this morning? Okay, copy that, thanks. I was just checking to see if anybody did go there. And as I was saying, we could have a camera on the den, and one day you could have an incident where they might hide in the den and come out 5 minutes later, and there might be another day that there's a leopard. There's a leopard. And another day it might be 5 hours before they come out again. She's moved pretty far. I think this is Our Lady of the Night. She's looking at something. I can hear a francolin chirping. Oh, it's this one here. It's francolin right in front of us. You're gonna go and sleep in the shade there, girl. That's quite a thick patch that she's gone in. Quite deep, going onto that termite mound. If we could just get around there. Alright, she's climbing. There's a Scotia boobean on a termite mound, and she's climbed up onto that termite mound, coming down the side now. She's looking, she's doing pretty much what she was doing yesterday. Using the odd vantage point that she can, wholly making sure that there might be something up ahead for her to go into hunt mode. Gotta move. This guy's got a got an ingress on Boyer's access, between Boyer's access and Triple M, closer to the gate. Karula. Negative, more or less southwest. Yeah, if I can. I've got to get rid of the stick. Welcome to Djuma, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Djuma, everyone. Welcome to our morning safari. A most wonderful morning it is this morning, with a lot of excitement, and I don't think that excitement is over just yet. Oh, gosh, look at her. On an elephant path that heads straight from Sydney's dam, cuts through this corner of Djuma. And hopefully she'll keep going a little bit further south, because if she crosses Triple M, we're not going to be able to follow her. Starting to get blocked by a lot of guarri bush at the moment. Okay, try and get around this patch. Very dense. I think I've been through here before. Walking parallel. It's coming into a much more open patch now, if we can get through. Station near Triple M. Not copying, but if there's anyone near Triple M North, probably not far from the gate, I've got Karula making her way slowly towards Triple M. Okay, come in. Yeah, we're getting close to Triple M now. Karula. Okay, copy. She is moving south. Sorry, Nikki. Yeah, affirmative. I'm about 20, maybe 50 yards in. Hopefully I'll be able to hear you, or you might see me. Climb up on that piece of wood, girl. Going underneath it. She's heading towards where we saw that Impala ram earlier. Franklin now. Shouting before she gets anywhere. Go. Lucky one wanting to know if she has cubs, or when she has cubs, at what age are we allowed to view them? But that's a debate that I think is ongoing actually. There are some lodges that when they know about a leopard having given birth, they actually will leave an empty vehicle close to the den so that the cubs can get used to the vehicle. We're going to be much too far. Hang on a sec. Got to talk on the radio. She's turning east again, so I'm now quite far off of Triple M. Probably about 200 meters north of Impala Plains, maybe a bit more. She has the ability to hide her cubs for the first couple of weeks. We've never really seen them very, very young. In fact, I think that when we were doing this, we were following her one morning, and we just ended up, we didn't know, but suddenly we were there, and so was her cub. So there wasn't a case of being able to avoid the circumstances. And then of course in an instant the drama happened. Okay, we're getting into, hopefully we'll still be able to keep up with her. getting rather thick. Looks like she might be watching something again. No? Yeah, which station coming to Karula? Yeah, I'm probably due east of One-Eyed Pan. I'm at the moment static again, rather thick Latin. Is that young Mr. Danhauser? Can I mark your go? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. About 100, 120, maybe 150 in east of Triple M. No, she turned south and even a little bit east again, so I'm in a pretty thick block. No, it's not Karula. Who we got here, folks? Yeah, I'm starting to think it's not. I still haven't. A minute there, I thought it was. Looks like come on.
Doesn't
Keep your head.
There's the WildEarth.
She's been frowning. Let's see. I don't even know if we're going to be able to follow her anymore. Maybe it's shadow. I didn't get that. Please repeat. Right into this drainage line, I can see it there, but I'm wondering if it's not maybe shadow. Deep in there, very deep and very shady, very pretty, but very much impenetrable. I don't think we're going to find her again. It's a really beautiful and deep drainage line. And unless she's still moving south, we might be able to pick her up on the other side of it. She's still quite far from the Impala Plains or those open areas. Thanks. I'm going to try and make my way out onto Triple M. You're welcome. Sorry I couldn't hold on to her. Okay, these two just pop up again after I go over them, by the way. Saplings. Try not to get them with the tires. The road is like 20 yards ahead of us. We need to get through it. Go ahead. She went into a drainage line pretty thick. I'm trying to find my way out. I can see Triple M from where I am. I just can't find my way onto it. I can, yes. Kind of got a vignette effect on the, yeah, you can see that, a nice smoky effect, hazy effect. Yeah, that looks better. Okie dokie. Sorry Nikki, you're breaking up. I'm not copying anything. Okay. People are not sure which leopard it is. And okay, out on Triple M, I'm leaving a Guari branch, but she's making her way into the Scovanine that now crosses south of where I've left the branch. Could be just a few feet in here. We're going to keep an eye out. There's a good chance that she might have taken to ground. Just the nonchalance was quite incredible. The way she was just walking like she was Karula. But then when she was licking herself, when she was cleaning, for a brief second there, I got to look at her forehead, and I really don't think it is. Now, it could be shadow. I need to look a little more carefully at shadows. Starting to think this isn't Karula. I need to look more. I don't see shadow that often to recognize her straight off the bat like that. How's it? Good. Thanks, Ron. For morning all for my Dutch this morning. Yeah.
Did you see that one on his backside? Did they attack him?
Yeah, we got there as they must have just split up, and I was trying to get in to see the Dutch, and then I didn't even see that Missy was sitting in a bush with its back right in the bush.
So there's just a bruise that scratched it.
No. I think they must have made a go for it, and it backed up into the bush to just keep its head out.
Made a lot of noise, huh?
And then it made a gap for the den, so I still want to go past the den to see what's happened there, because the dogs were also running there at one time. She was about 150 yards in.
Yeah.
When I left her, maybe 100 to 150. It's hard to tell because to get out of there was hard. She was more or less moving south, but coming this way a little bit. And at first I thought Karula because I could only see from the back.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to... not now, well, anytime.
We'll just stay a bit here and see if I can
this drainage line, there's a nice, very deep spot in there. She might also just go lie down there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Oh, but we're here for the week. We'll keep you guys updated.
Cool, yeah. Enjoy. Pass it in geniet.
Bye, dankie man. Sien julle.
No one really sending in any answers to who she was. A brief glimpse of a leopard. I don't know if I got a shot of her. I must just check on that. I did, but I don't think it's going to show anything. One snap, but she had already stood up and she was already heading away from the camera when the shutter went off. I've still got to learn how to pick this up and get it out and get it ready quicker than I have been. I need to be faster on the draw. So, hello again. Hi again. So she went into that drainage line.
Yeah.
There where Ruan is, that's where I came out. So it was due east of that. But
she just came into the drainage, and you think maybe going to come along the
yeah,
drainage?
I think so. And I don't think it's Karula.
Oh, okay.
Where's Shadow been lately?
She's at the Kayas. She's at the Lux Kayas. Yeah,
it's not her.
We can't even get in there. So it's just too scared to tell the guys because it's on Boaty thickets of night there.
Yeah, well this was thick.
Alright, alright.
If you walk it, you'll see her.
Yeah.
And she was reliable. She was cleaning next to me for a bit. Maybe it was Karula. I mean, I've known her for
you should know.
8 years now, so
yeah, exactly. Oh, well, because it was funny yesterday. I got on Moya on Triple M South. I haven't seen her for a year now.
Who?
Moya. It was another female called Nialeti that she had, like the two males and a young female, and Nialeti pegged and all that. But that was all along those boundaries. I've never seen her for a year and a half till yesterday afternoon. He was just coming up the road, Triple M South. I was like, hey.
She was coming probably from Sydney's Dam. You know all those early tracks that run up to Sydney's Dam from Weir's Access.
Yeah.
She was coming down past those little pans on the side of Weir's Access. So it's pretty much a steady southwest.
Alright, so we're going to take a look here, see if we can
like I said.
Alright, well, see you later.
Enjoy. Bye. But at least I'm sure there are screen caps, and we ought to be lucky enough to be able to identify her from screen caps. Pity we had to leave her be. I guess we could, since there are cars on this road, there's going to be dust. Let's go up the power line. We'll go back up to Sandy Patch. Maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe we'll get a second chance. If we don't try, we don't know. Not so. Because now I know more or less, following her through the bush so much, and when we're not going in a straight line, hard to keep track of things, of the amount of distance you've covered, because I'm keeping my eye on the cat, and I'm also keeping my eye on the maze that I have to follow. Well, not follow, but there isn't a clear path to drive through off-road, and you've got to be thinking ahead where you can get around bushes in the general direction that your animal is moving in. She's this glory stuff here. Maybe I don't know if we should try it there. I think maybe we should, rather than go all the way up to the road. Since we've got fairly open ground here, and we only have to go a couple hundred yards. So the time that it's taken, if she was still moving and she was continuing in a southerly direction, we might pick up the sound of a squirrel or francolin or something. Kitty kitty. And we stuck again. It's either good or bad. It's good because, and zebra, because she hasn't come this way yet. Animals are not too stressed with, no alarm calls. Be interesting if she manages to use that drainage line cover to look out for that little flash of white at the tail of the impala. We're not going to disturb these impala. And there's warthog. I see there was a warthog there as well. Warthog, impala, zebra. If this cat is on the move, on the prowl, there's cat food here. There's potential prey. Taker running away. That was from us. Funny enough, this was also the direction those elephants were heading in. Now we are almost parallel to where we left her coming into this drainage line. Birds are shouting. Just heard not only the francolin but a magpie shrike as well. Sorry, Andrew. Darling, where's the cat, darling? Way too deep. Just ahead of us, we're in the thick and woody forest. There's Franklin is shouting. My guess is that's where she is. Dead one. What's that? Oh, that one, yeah. You don't want to knock that. It's quite heavy. Another one on this side. These bent over knobs on. We also, Nikki's, I'm going to try. Nikki's saying that there's some people that are still requesting to go to the hyena den. We are somewhat distant from there. It is getting quite hot now. And I've got to get out of here first. Have to give up on the leopard and go and see the hyena then. Yep. Unless we maybe find she's already walked through here and she's on the way. Steenbok. A nice try, I guess. Sorry Nicky, I didn't copy anything there. Just give me a moment to get out of this thick stuff and get back onto the road. Thanks. Okay. Nikki, come in. Try again with your last message, please. Oh, sorry, Piglet. I knew there was a piglet here, but he's not a piglet anymore. He's a big, big warthog. Gosh, he's huge. And I was looking for him, and there he was, lying in the shade. So, some people on Twitter saying that still a little bit of confusion, but some people saying they think it was Karula. There's a good chance, since she's not far from here, where those Franklin were calling. I'm sure that she might make a play for one of these Impala. But let's go excuse ourselves through this little Impala roadblock. Excuse me, children. Gosh, he's a big pig. Massive. Got the size of his neck. If he'll only just stop. Sorry, children. Come along, cross the road. What did you do with your zebra friends that were here 2 minutes ago? I think the zebra carried on south along the road, looks like. There they are. Hello, horses. Oh, I shouldn't have shouted. Sorry, zebra. Stallion. And a mare. And another pretty mare. Young stallion, young colt. In the front. I don't think they'll wander far from the Impala, and neither will the warthog. Safety in numbers. Maybe spend more time with zebra later, but for now we try and use this time to go and check up on what was started this morning. Try and maybe some closure to the morning's activity. Still smoke in the east, condensing into cloud. Oh, that was a nice lizard. Probably a yellow-throated plated lizard. One of these days we'll be able to snap a picture of one. They're very shy lizards. Most lizards are very shy, especially since it's a very large vehicle moving through or moving along the road. Fairly fresh elephant activity. Question is, when does the impala rut start? How long does it last for? That comes from Chris in South Australia. Hello Chris. Good afternoon to you, Chris. It starts round about now, going into the end of April. And it'll last until about the end of May. To June, maybe. Babblers. If that was Karula, she would have walked quite a distance from Buffelshoek Dam, which means that she would have probably walked all the way along Buffelshoek Cutline. One thing we can do is this afternoon, if we're on Buffelshoek Cutline going to look for elephants or other things, one thing we can do is have a look for her tracks on Buffelshoek Cutline, and that will tell us if there are tracks of the cat coming all the way from Buffelshoek Dam along Buffelshoek Cutline. My guess is that she... Oh, interesting. That's the tracks going up Zoe's Road, but it was driven over. There's a car that went over them. Somebody drove Zoe's Road this morning, but there was a fairly fresh leopard track from last night going up Zoe's Road. It might help us to finalize that question. If there are tracks that come from Buffelshoek Dam. Thank you, Suzanne. Suzanne put up a comparison picture of the leopard, well, Karula and this leopard, and it does seem, Nikki's saying it does appear to be Karula. I jumped to the conclusion purely based on space and time and behavior. And she barely glanced in our direction. She is that way sometimes. But for a moment, when she was sitting down next to us, and maybe it was because she was frowning. I noticed she did frown. She looked up and frowned. Maybe changed the markings on her forehead a little bit into parallel lines rather than the wow. Well, there's a good chance she'll come out onto Sandy Patch South and either head towards Impala Plains or cross up towards Zoe's Road. At least she doesn't seem to be crossing over Triple M much anymore onto her daughter's side of things where Shadow is. Of course, you could also take a screenshot of her flank, since we had her from the side, but of course you can't match the right side to the left side because they're not symmetrical, they're not the same, they're not mirror images of each other. So if you look comparing the left side, you could compare the hip, you could compare the shoulder, or if you manage to get a screenshot of the line of spots, rosettes down her back, base of the tail. Not always the face or always the forehead, and sometimes the markings on the forehead can look fairly similar, but you've got to look at other markings, maybe the eyes, maybe the markings around the collar, that lovely black line, that necklace or collar that leopards have, that black line around the throat. The interesting thing about seeing that leopard, by the way, was if we hadn't have got there at exactly that time, if we were a couple of minutes early or a couple of minutes, even seconds later than that, she would have crossed the road and we would never have seen her. We would never even known she was there. And it not only highlights how often we miss things because our timing is just off, or because we're just on the wrong road or something. But it is one of the only times we are able to catch up with leopard is when we just accidentally bump into them on a road, as we've done in the last 2 days, rather than actually following the track. mostly hyena tracks on the road to the den. I guess I'd have to look a lot closer to see if I could spot any dog tracks amongst these hyena tracks. Hyena tracks from just after the rain when the ground was a little bit damp, and from this morning when it's drying out a bit. No sign of any life here, mostly because they're probably asleep. They're probably in the den now. I would imagine that by now they've forgotten about the incident and it's all over and done with, and now they've gone back to their normal habits of sleeping during the day. It is getting quite warm. I'm not seeing anybody sleeping out of the den, but that's not really surprising. Sandy wants to know. Sandy, hello Sandy from Texas. I think the hyena that was bitten by the dogs, I think it was one of the mothers. I can't tell you that. I have no idea, Sandy. I had a brief visual of it. That could be. She could have been. We will only know when we see. We'll come back in the next. Well, we can see this evening. Maybe just before the end of drive, a couple of days, and we can see she's not. I don't think she's wounded badly. She's got a few bite marks. They bite tomorrow morning. You know, we can check up in the next couple of days, and we can see she's not. I don't think she's wounded badly. She's got a few bite marks. They bite each other in the same way. They're not life-threatening injuries, and we shall see. It is also a little bit late in the day to come to the den. I haven't really known the den to be active this late in the morning, unless it's, oh, I don't know, maybe it has, but not today. Whether it's from the sun or whether it's from the dogs earlier, I don't think the dogs would have that long-lasting an effect unless they were still in the area. But the adults, most certainly, if the adults were out, it would be also, they wouldn't really mind. All we can do is keep on checking. They might also move the den after this incident. I can't say that it's a definite that they will. As I say, they might choose. They might, because it's the dogs and the dogs have moved off. It might sort of just be like water on a duck's back. There was an altercation, something that happens in their lives. They have altercations with lion and leopard, and probably other wild dog as well, where they have got the upper hand. So it's not something that they're going to dwell on. It's not something that they're going to result in them shivering in fear in their den. They move on. Life goes on. But an interesting morning. I'm glad you joined us. those of you who are on your Sunday night, late night Sunday night, and of course a lot of you are already well into your Monday, Australia and New Zealand. Now there was also, I might think of it, somebody sent us a message early this morning saying that there were hippo arriving at the dam at a particular time during the night. I wanted to say thank you to that, but then as soon as we opened up with all the wild dog and hyena, it kind of slipped my mind completely, because I wanted to mention that we do have viewers who, when we're not on safari, when we're not doing the live drive, there are people that watch the cameras. That's right, it was John Q, I think. And thanks, Nikki. And of course, during the time that we're not on drive, we don't get to see the waterhole. We don't get to see the waterhole cam either. And so we do depend on the viewers who are watching the cameras, both at Arathusa and here at Djuma. I know we do sometimes get feedback from what's happening at Pete's Pond or at other cameras elsewhere, but just if you ask us, we can let you know what sort of distance we're talking about between the various cameras. So from that point of view, it's always great to hear from people, always great to get a message to say that there was something at the dam or there were animals calling. It's always a great help. Very good in you. It's good. Some good stuff. Hey Tisha, how are you boys? Good. You too, cheers. And especially between our drives, like between now and our 3 o'clock drive this afternoon, we've got a couple of hours that we do other things. We don't have access to the dam, so it's great to have a message to say that there were elephants there at, say, 2 o'clock, for being a part of the team, for helping us with all of that info, keeping us updated. And of course also thanks to everybody for the feedback when it comes to identifying the cats, for all the information. Sharon in Austria, I owe you a few emails with all the info you've been sending me recently, and I'll get to that today, I hope. My name is Mark, with a C. Andrew's been on camera, that's Andrew with an A. And back in final control is Nikki with an N. From all of us here at Wild Earth, thanks for joining us, thanks for the support, thanks for the excitement of an early morning drive, and a beautiful Nikki with a Nick. Thanks everybody, love you lots, and we'll see you later.